Have you ever noticed how you become the absolute world's greatest debater the exact millisecond you step under a warm shower? Out of nowhere, your mind traps you inside a dark, highly aggressive verbal arena with your toxic boss, your manipulative ex, or a stranger from high school. You unleash the most cold, calculated, devastating roasts and flawless comebacks, completely vaporizing their logic while scrubbing soap on your arms. But the terrifying part happens when you twist the handle, kill the water, and step onto the cold bathroom floor. You aren't relaxed. Your chest feels heavy, your jaw is tight, and you experience a strange, overwhelming wave of mental exhaustion. Why does the human brain actively hijack our most peaceful, private moments to force us into highly stressful, imaginary warfare? Clinical psychologists warn that this isn't just a quirky habit, it's a silent, subconscious vampire that is actively drinking your daily emotional fuel. If you don't understand the dark biological engine driving this loop, your subconscious will continue to keep your body under constant stress. To uncover this mental glitch, we first have to track the ancient evolutionary programming hidden inside your genetic code. Thousands of years ago, your ancestors survived only because their minds were hyper-engineered to run worst-case scenario combat simulations while resting. If they visualized a lethal predator attack while sitting safely in a cave, their nervous system was preloaded to react instantly when real danger struck. But in today's modern society, we don't look out for predators. Our modern tigers are public humiliation, career failure, and social rejection. So, why does this survival engine choose the shower of all places? Why doesn't it strike while we are scrolling social media or driving? Because the shower is the only remaining sensory isolation chamber in the modern world. There are no pings, no screens, and no distractions. The exact moment your hands get busy with soap, your analytical brain drops its guard and activates the default mode network. This DMN network is the brain's deep, subconscious backstage. When it turns on, your sense of linear time fades away entirely. Simultaneously, the soothing heat triggers a massive chemical flood of dopamine, causing your imagination to run completely wild. But instead of utilizing this massive wave of genius to build a business or write poetry, your primitive mind turns that weapon on your ego. Neurological experiments confirm that when the human brain is left in total isolation, it defaults to evaluating threats to its social status. Your brain's amygdala is completely terrified of being caught off guard, mocked, or outsmarted in real-life social interactions. It violently despises a psychological phenomenon known as l'esprit de l'escalier, the torturous feeling of finding the perfect comeback too late. When someone insults you or steps on your boundaries in public, you often freeze up or pass out due to sudden social shock. Your ego leaves that real-world battle deeply bruised, carrying a heavy weight of silent resentment and unexpressed anger. So, the moment you enter the safe, locked sanctuary of the shower, your subconscious opens up a virtual training simulator. Let's trace a highly relatable scenario. Your passive-aggressive coworker dropped a subtle insult during a meeting 2 days ago. In that moment, you just smiled weakly and let it slide, because your conscious mind wanted to avoid a messy, awkward confrontation. But behind the scenes, your primitive ego registered that submission as a catastrophic loss of your personal social rank. Now, inside the shower, your brain acts as a frantic movie director, rewriting the entire script to fix your broken pride. You absolute destroy them with cold logic, you expose their hidden malice, and you stand tall as the victorious champion of the office. Or think about the ghost of an old relationship, the person who shattered your heart and left without giving you a single answer. The shower stall becomes a psychological courtroom where you finally deliver your closing statement and watch them break down in regret. But here is the terrifying catch. This imaginary courtroom victory is a complete psychological illusion. Your central nervous system cannot differentiate between a physical argument and a purely mental simulation. As you scream inside your head, your biological body triggers a real panic state, dumping floods of toxic cortisol and adrenaline into your blood. You are quite literally injecting chemical stress directly into what should be your most healing and restorative daily ritual. You walk out of the steam feeling mentally vindicated, but your physical cells are exhausted, tense, and chemically battered. By feeding these loops every single day, you are literally training your mind to perceive your everyday life as a hostile, toxic war zone. So, how do we dismantle this self-destructive trap? How do we permanently pull the plug on these exhausting shower wars? The ultimate reveal requires you to understand a fundamental law of cognitive psychology: you are not your wandering thoughts. Your brain is simply an automated predictive organic machine running software patches because it feels unarmored in the real world. The next time you feel the warm water hit your skin and notice an imaginary argument picking up steam, stop trying to win it. Do not argue back with the phantom. Instead, perform a clinical technique called cognitive labeling. Explicitly call it out in your mind. Say, "Ah, look at that. My ego is running the defense simulation loop again." This simple act of detached observation breaks the circuit, pulling you completely out of the toxic DMN loop and locking you back into reality. Force your absolute attention onto immediate physical sensations: the temperature of the spray, the texture of the water, the scent of your soap. When you actively redirect that massive burst of shower dopamine into presence rather than phantom conflict, something spectacular happens. Your hyper-creative mind will suddenly unlock massive, real-world innovations, brilliant career ideas, and peaceful epiphanies. Stop wasting your powerful energy fighting ghosts under running water. Step out, dry off, and let your spirit rest. The imaginary war is officially over. See you in the next interesting video.